Hello everyone, and welcome to today's practice, which is a soft yoga stretch. So we'll just move quite slowly, quite gently through postures that just create space, generally in the whole body, a bit of hips, a bit of upper body, spine, shoulders. So we can start in child's pose. You can bring your knees a little bit wider apart so the stomach, the upper body has space to just kind of drop down towards the mat. You can release the hips towards the heels and guide your hands towards the top of the mat. As we begin, you can simply allow for gravity to pull your hips towards your heels, and that naturally brings a bit of length into the lower back. Maybe you feel an opening in the hips as well. And we're going to take a few deeper breaths, just connecting to the breath. Feeling the inhales fill up the lungs, maybe feeling the rib cages expand against your thighs. And then exhale, release. We'll do that once more. Big inhale. And exhale. We'll walk our hands towards the right. They can come off the mat. So finding a gentle side stretch for the left side. See if you can still keep your hips sort of grounding towards the heels. Also pulling back through the left hip to create that length. And then find your way back through center. Hands come over to the left. The right side body lengthens. Grounding the right hip down. Well done. And then coming back through center. You can walk your hands towards the knees and bring the knees a little bit closer to each other. We're going to tuck our toes under and come into a sort of toe stand here. Interlace your fingers, and we're going to open up through the arms, reach up, push the palms out, lengthen through the spine. And then as you exhale, you can bring your palms around the height of your face and then round through the spine. Push the hands away from you. And then inhale, reach up, lengthen, guiding the pinky fingers towards the back of the mat. And then exhale, round. Doing that once more. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. You can release the hands. We'll bring our hands onto the mat. You can release your toes, maybe tap the tops of the feet onto the mat, wiggle the feet around after that toe stand. When you're ready, tuck the toes under and find a really gentle downward facing dog. Good. Finding space in the backs of the legs, along the spine, guiding the sitting bones towards the sky. And then strong push the mat away from you. You can keep this downward facing dog quite soft, so it doesn't have to be perfectly aligned, but still finding that juicy stretch that a down dog can really provide you by pushing the mat away from you. Good. With our next inhale, we reach the right leg up behind us. And then as you exhale, hug the right knee in towards the chest. Step it forward between the hands. Left knee grounds down and we reach up through the arms. Good. We're going to grab the left wrist with the right hand and find a side stretch here. So finding a bit more space in the left side of the body, also the left hip flexor. So keep grounding the hips towards the mat. Keep pushing the right heel down. Hugging the left knee towards the center line. And then find your way back to center. We circle the hands down and move our weight back.
into a half Hanumanasana. Good. Taking a moment here to breathe. Keep pulling the shoulders back, and then as we exhale, we can fold all the way over the leg. Take one more inhale. We'll bend through the right knee again. Tuck the left toes under, lift the knee off the mat, and then we'll swing the right leg up into a three-legged dog. Then as we exhale, the right knee comes towards the chest, and we come into a pigeon pose. So you can slightly find an opening through the right thigh, so externally rotating it. And then we inhale, find length here. You can ground your fingertips onto the mat, and then as we exhale, we ripple forward, folding over the leg. We'll do that a few more times. Inhale, length, and then exhale, fold over. And inhale, and exhale. Good. Now you can release your forearms, your hands onto the mat. Maybe you come all the way onto your stomach. And take a big breath here. Good. Then find your way onto the hands again. We're going to bring our weight onto the right side. Swing the left leg over. We bring it all the way over the right leg so that we come towards a Gomukhasana. So what we're aiming for is having the knees quite close to each other, stacked on top of each other, but that is definitely not possible for everyone. So if the position is a bit more open, that's fine. What we're aiming for is getting a stretch for the sides of the thighs, the IT band. So arriving in a shape that feels good for you. See if you can lengthen through the spine for a few breaths. Perhaps resting your hands on the ankles or the knees, wherever they comfortably land. Good. And then you can gently lean back. We're going to release the left leg so that it's pointing towards the top of the mat. The right knee is still bent. Good. We'll drop our left hand somewhere on the mat in front of you or all the way to the right knee. Depends on how deep you want to go into the stretch. And then we start to reach our right arm over. Good. Taking an inhale, we open up through the chest. So making sure the left side of the body is kind of facing the leg and the right side the ceiling. Good. Finding length in the right side body. Also in the left back of the leg. Good. And then we come all the way up into a seat. Good. You can bring your left ankle in. We'll come over the knees into a downward facing dog. Good. From here, inhaling the left leg up behind us. And then exhale, hug the knee in towards the chest. Step it forward between the hands. That can be a few short steps as well. We ground the right knee down and reach up through the arms. We grab the right wrist with the left hand and start to side bend towards the left. So we find that extra opening in the right side of the body and in the right hip flexor. Good. Keep breathing. Opening up the right lung. Inhale. We find our way back to center and then exhale, release the hands down, finding that half Hanumanasana. Good. You can first find length in the spine. Allow the shoulders to move back down the back body. And then for a moment you can fully fold over the leg. Good. We then start to re-bend into the left knee. Ground your hands down, keep the right toes tucked and lift the knee off the mat. We then swing the left leg up and exhale. Bring it forward again, guiding the knee towards the left wrist, maybe the ankle towards the right wrist as we find our pigeon pose. So make sure this shape is comfortable for your hips, for your knees, And then we keep the fingertips on the mat and find length through the spine. Inhale. And exhale, fold over. And then inhale, moving through this wave through the spine, and exhale. Inhale, final one. And then release into your pigeon, into a version of it that feels good for your hips today. Taking a breath or a few breaths here, sinking into the hips, returning back to your breath. Good. Then finding your way back onto the hands, we're going to bring our weight onto the left side and swing the right leg forward. So we try to cross the legs. Remember, if the position is quite open, that's fine. See what feels good for your hips today. Might help if you're a bit kind of tight around the hips to lift yourself up a little bit and then wiggle the hips around to find a comfortable version of this pose. Once you're there, you can drop the shoulders down and really lengthen through the spine. Good. Hands can rest where they feel comfortable. And then we gently lean back, unravel the leg so that the right leg straightens towards the top of the mat, left knee still bent. Right hand will now come either onto the mat in front of you or across towards the left knee. And then we reach the left arm over. You can keep pointing the right toes towards the ceiling. And see if you can really open up through the chest so that the right side of the body is close to the leg and the left side is kind of moving upwards facing the sky. Then finding your way back up to center. And then you can bend both knees, reach the arms out in front of you, and then release your whole body onto the mat. And from here, we're going to find our way into a plow pose. So we're going to swing the hips up. You can go into a shoulder stand first if you like, or then come straight into a plow. Either supporting yourself through the hands at the lower back, or if you want to guide the hands towards the ankles, towards the heels, you can do that. I personally really love to bring my hands towards the ankles. I feel like I'm able to fully soften through the whole body here. Now, if this feels challenging all in all, you can also find a waterfall pose, which looks like this. So simply you have your legs up and your entire spine on the mat. I'm finding a bit of softness, a bit of kind of a restorative pose here. So whichever variation you want to come into, take a few more breaths there. If you're in your plow, make sure your neck is comfortable so you're not finding any pinching, any pain in that area. And then we can slowly start to come down, whichever variation you're in. Bring your feet down. You can keep them bent for a moment. And we're going to bring the feet together, still keeping the knees bent, and then open them out to the sides, coming into a Supta Padangusthasana. You can bring one hand onto the belly, one hand to heart center as we take a few breaths here. And see if you can start to release through the hips, through the inner thighs. Maybe releasing the knees a little bit closer to the mat. This might allow for a really nice opening for the hips. If this shape is generally uncomfortable for your knees, you can always straighten the legs out. And taking a moment of grounding here. Returning to your body and to a really soft space. Maybe feeling like the fluids in your body are flowing a little bit more freely after a couple of these juicy stretches. Maybe your mind has a bit more clarity too. That's the beauty of movement. It often impacts our mind more than we even realize. You can take as long as you like here in either Supta Paragonasana or Shavasana, or you can start to make your way back up with me, bringing your knees together. Then gently turning onto one side and finally pushing yourself back up into a seat. Find a comfortable seat just for a moment so that you can meet this shape. Meet yourself in your seat, and at the same time allowing yourself to set the tone for the rest of the day. Maybe you're practicing in the morning, maybe in the evening, whatever you're moving into. See if you can bring this energy, this awareness, this consciousness into whatever you move into next. When you're ready, you can bring your hands to heart center. And then bowing your head towards the hands. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me for today's practice. It was a gentle and soft one today. I hope it served you. If you do enjoy my yoga classes, my yoga flows here on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. I'm here every week, so every Thursday I post a new video. And also please let me know in the comment section if there's any requests for flows or any questions or comments. I really love to hear them. I hope I see you here next week as well. Thank you.